So long, man. Have a good rest.
Fuck you! Hey! Help me! Taking maybe one step more. I'll let it off to my next breath.
Every Thursday.
I screwed up.
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don Tony. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don Tony. And now, your host, Don Tony. Don Tony. Don Tony. Don Tony.
We close out Suicide Prevention Month. I got the shirt today. We started off September horrible. Hopefully we close out September a little bit better, a little bit more aware, a little bit happier. So much love to Daphne. And by the way, I posted this on social media earlier today. The first batch of the plates came in. It's pretty cool to have them all show up today. So for a bunch of you who have donated directly to the CTE Institute at Boston University, I've already talked to quite a few of you. Get you those plates. We'll have more developed soon. No, they're not for sale. I don't even want to put myself in a situation where somebody thinks I'm trying to profit off of this. You give the money directly to research donation, and then I'll send out the dibs. How's everybody doing tonight? Thursday night, I got to admit, exhausted. Last night, fun episode of Dynamite. The ratings came in today. I believe it was 1,152,000, about a 9.5% drop, which was expected. After hyping up Grand Slam the way they did leading up to last week, you knew that we were going to have a little bit of a decline. But still, 1,152,000, pretty decent. Can't complain about that at all. But now we're banking on Impact Wrestling. If Impact Wrestling's rating goes down this week, then we would have had the first time in a very long time, as we said yesterday, of a 7-day period where every televised promotion's ratings went down. WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, Impact Wrestling, Rampage, Dynamite. Every show went down in the ratings. We don't have Monday Night Football 4 different days out of the week. Actually 5, because Impact is on Thursdays. So, but still, overall, can't complain, man. Pretty awesome month to be a wrestling fan, if you think about it. I mean, obviously, the beginning of the month started horrible, but as far as being a wrestling fan and what we've seen on TV, how can you complain? Seriously. I mean, I know some people are waiting for this. Yeah, we're closing out the month with this. Oh, radio. I don't know how to sing Zack Ryder's theme because I never honestly paid much attention to Zack Ryder. Is this because we need a title for Matt Cardona? The digital media champion. So what is this? This is only going to be defended on digital media. And I spell that with a T. Media. Digital media champion. My God, Impact. You're just clamoring to have a second, a third, fourth title. I mean, you brought back the TNA championship because we have to give that. We just had that conversation yesterday, everyone. The answer is not to develop more titles. You take another title, yeah, you do a tournament for a couple of weeks, and then what? Now you crown someone the digital media champion, and your ratings are still worse than some people's weddings. Look, I'm willing to give it a shot. Willing to give it a shot. Happy anniversary, Austin Nance. Member for 8 months. Much love and respect. Shout out to everybody. That's pretty cool. How do you do that? Because it's obviously not a super chat. That's awesome. I never saw that before. Now, obviously, I can't show it here, but I could show it here. It'll pop up in a second. I never saw that before. So now, what? VIP channel members could actually post comments? I like that. That's pretty cool. Or maybe we could. No, yeah. I think that's. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Much love. Much love. How's everybody doing tonight? Not a bad night. Thank God it's Friday tomorrow. Now, I got a little apology to make everyone out there. Got a little apology. I hyped up something earlier today, and within a half an hour, I had to tweak it a little bit because I made a tremendous faux pas. You know, people are getting into me opening retro stuff, sealed stuff, checking it out for the first time. Somebody is sending me Hulk Hogan pasta. Somebody is sending me a Hulk Hogan blender. I told you Ultimate Warrior cereal, Nitro Cologne, Buff Bagwell hot sauce, like some wild shit. So anyway, I have this waiting for me. The problem is the person who sent it to me as a gift, I forgot. I didn't give him my home address. I gave him my office address. Because honestly, with all due respect, I don't want, anybody but very close friends of mine to have my home address. So here I thought earlier today, oh, this is being delivered today. It's going to get delivered to my house. And we open that up and we'll have some fun with it. Then I realized it's being shipped to my office. I had already left for the day. So what happens? I get an alert at like 6 o'clock tonight. The post office attempted to deliver it and nobody was there. So unfortunately, I don't have this in my possession tonight. What is that, you ask? It is called a wall talker. Apparently, the eyes follow the sound. So if I talk into Taker's left ear, his eyes move to the left. If I talk in his right ear, his eyes move to the right. It also has phrases, but my favorite part of it all, could you read the top of that box, please? Could you read that for everybody? For those that are audio only, the top of the box says that it's a 3D version of The Undertaker that tells you where to get off. Let's think about that for a second. Undertaker tells you where to get off. Where? The bus stop? What do you mean where to get off? You mean I should go whack off over there? Is that what he means? Who comes up with that? Look at the back of the box. Undertaker tells you where to get off. Seriously, where does it say that? You cannot kill what is already dead. Rest in peace, obviously. But I can't wait to play that. I want Undertaker to tell me, Taker, where should I get off? Seriously, tomorrow night, after dinner and a couple of drinks, where should I get off? In the bedroom, in the hallway, outside, in the park, in my imagination. So we can't open that tonight. Maybe we'll do it Monday if it's worth it. But I do have this. I have this. Now, I took some pictures of it. That's what it looks like up close. I never knew The Undertaker had white fingernails paint. Not only that, if you look at his, I guess, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't remember The Undertaker having a Steve Austin skull tattoo. And even on the side, it doesn't even look like The Undertaker. It's filled with supposedly bubble gum from 1998. It's never been open. So maybe we'll open this tonight. I am prepared, everyone. I am prepared with a new bottle of Crest mouthwash. Kills millions of bacteria. I got my Solo Spit Cup, and I got my water. It does look like Roman Reigns, right? Believe me when I tell you. I mean, even though Roman Reigns is much better now than he was pre-leukemia, I can't picture myself 20 years from now saying, hey, everybody, I'm going to open up this 20-year-old Roman Reigns gum. I ain't opened nothing, Roman Reigns. I have never bought a damn thing, Roman Reigns. I've gotten autograph cards out of packs, but I've never bought a Roman Reigns item. Seriously. Not even the Bloodline. I might have to get the Bloodline, though, because I kind of like that merch. It's pretty cool. But it does look like Roman Reigns. But seriously, look at the tattoos. This guy like Steve Austin stuff. The other side, that's the other side. It's got tattoos. And it's filled with gum. Bubble gum. 1998. 1998. So a little bit later. Now, if this tastes pretty good and I'm in a good mood, then maybe we go the whole 9 yards and we open up this 1998 WCW NWO Sour Slam Bubble Gum. More bubble gum. Look, it's Hall. It's Nash. We're going to chew on 23, 24-year-old NWO gum. I told you somebody was sending me this. No fucking way am I putting anything Vanilla Ice in my mouth. It's Vanilla Ice gum. It's supposed to be a cassette. It's sealed. It's never been opened. Vanilla Ice gum. I think this is from 1991. So you people are nuts. People are sending me some wacky stuff, man. And I got some video wrestle crap for you. It's not a ticket seller battle royal, but you know, a lot of you kind of like the vintage stuff that I used to do. And I found a doozy by accident. I am managing a wrestler against the Masked Maniac. And it ends up I indirectly am managing against Tommy Dreamer. You will see one of the worst wrestling matches in the history of indie wrestling. The reason why I'm showing you is it was one of my favorite nights because at that time when I was feuding with Lowlife Louis Ramos, you know, I've always talked about how they would sabotage a lot of my shit, never got on camera. I give Sean the Mick a little credit in this commentary because he actually mentioned what I was doing. But what I did was I made up about 50 DVD cases. I made 50 DVD cases with cover art and everything. And it was the best of Lowlife Louis. And I gave them out to all the people at ringside. And when they opened the case up, there was no disc inside. Because there is no best of Lowlife Louis. That's the feud. It's nothing personal. That was that. When I wanted to do something, I always wanted to go balls out. So I'm like, look, I'm going to give everybody the best of Lowlife Louis. And I gave away 50 empty DVD cases. I love it. I love it. You'll actually, if you look close, you'll see some of the fan reaction and open up like there's nothing inside. There's nothing inside. See, I like creativity like that. I love being able to be creative like that. So you'll get to see that in a little bit. We're going to take calls. So whatever's on your mind, you want to talk AEW. Oh my God. I can't remember his name. I'm really, really sorry. I will shout him out tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to look at it closely yet. You remember yesterday, I was talking about how it is not sustainable for AEW to have this many people on the shows. When you think about the expense involved with travel and lodging and everything else, yes, not everybody does AEW pay for. Some of the Dark Elevation people pay their own way. But somebody took the time yesterday and added up every different person that appeared on Dynamite. Now, the reason why I'm going to wait till tomorrow to mention it is because he also included referees, Jim Ross, Excalibur. I was more everybody in a wrestling capacity. You want chat room? Let's put this up for a second. Let's do this for a second. Chat room. How many people do you think AEW had on their show yesterday? I said they cannot have over 40 people, 40 people on each show. It's not sustainable. When you look at SmackDown episodes, sometimes you might have 18 people at, 20 people at the most. How many people do you think they had yesterday? Just post something quick. So we could show everybody. Joe News says 65. I know you can't see it in the chat room yet, but you will. Austin is like, go Yankees. Go Yankees. But Michael Gonzalez says 52. All right, keep going. Conor McGregor fan says 53. John Hinosa says 54. Austin Nance says 48. Robert Swanson says 52. One Fall says 58. Would you like for me to tell you? No joke. When this person counted everybody, he put a name next to it. 80. 80. AEW had 80 different people on their show yesterday. Now, again, I have to subtract referees, commentators, but even if you, what was it, 70? 80. How sick is that? Nobody's talking about that. So tomorrow, I'm going to make sure, well, actually Saturday. We don't do show Fridays anymore. Saturday. When I do the show Saturday, remember Saturday we'll recap night one of the draft. Good luck to everybody who's in the contest. But we'll recap night one of the draft. We'll see how many of my predictions and Mish's predictions were on count. And we'll discuss that as well. Because I'm just amazed. Not one person. So I checked it. Not one person on social media, that does like shows or anything like that, took the time and say, my God, how many people are they putting on these shows? 80. 80. You tell me that's sustainable. That is insane. You would think with 80 people on the show, you better have some decent viewership. My God, 80 fucking people. And we're not even including all the employees behind the scenes. We're not even including the cameramen. 80. God, crazy. Crazy shit, man. That's crazy. Shout out. Oh, by the way, you all got to lighten up on Mr. Crazy Cruiserweight a little bit. He's publicly said before, some people do have some battling, with some stress and issues. And I know some people in the chat room could be a little bit brash. I don't want anybody to be an altar boy. You can, you disagree with someone, open your mouth, speak up. Don't ever feel you can't talk. But, all right, he doesn't like women over 40. All right, whatever. But the ones that I'm talking to, they know what I'm talking about. So, Darren, I don't think you added up the 80. I know you're trying to steal credit for it. I'm almost tempted now to pull up my email so I could give the person credit. Actually, you know what? That's what I will do. I will actually give the person credit, and maybe it is Darren. I will feel absolutely stupid right now if it was Darren that said this. Let's see. I'm checking my emails. Hold on. This should take 2 seconds. How many freaking emails did I get today? I cleared out. Oh, by the way, everybody's T-shirts. I got an email from Pro Wrestling Tees today. Holy shit, it was Darren. It was Darren Gordon Hill. Oh, my God. All right, so check it out. I'm going to read you the list of 80. Now, again, You actually, in real time, we'll subtract. Oh, I just realized. I know what happened. All right, let me take this off because I'm on my email system. That's why the screen went white. All right, so we're at 80. You can't include JR, Excalibur, Shivani, CM Punk, and Justin Roberts. So we're down to 75. All right, if you want to include Punk, because obviously, you know, Punk is a wrestler. Okay, so now we're at 76. So Adam Cole, Jungle Boy, CM Punk. There's 3 right there. Kenny Omega, Nick and Matt Jackson is 6. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson is 8. Brandon Cutler, Michael Nakazawa makes 10. So we're at 10. Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Andrade. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, they were. They were backstage. So that's 13. Alex Marvez and Jose, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I want to include them, so we'll leave them off. So we're 13 right now. Okay. Cody, Lee Johnson, Shotty Lee, Dante Martin, and Matt Sydal. We're now up to 17. On Anderson, Brandy Rhodes makes 19. John Moxley, Eddie Kingston makes 21. Darby Allin, 22. Bear Country, 24, even though it should be 26. Anthony Green, 25. Sting, 26. Britt Baker, Rebel, Jamie Hayter's 29. Then you add the 16-man tag match, so we'll just add them up. So we're at 45. I don't include Brody's son, so we leave it at 45. I don't include his wife either. Leo Rush, Cash Wheeler, and Dax, so we're at 48. Tully Blanchard is 49. Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky is 51. Dan Lambert is a character, so that's 52. Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida is 54. Penelope Ford, the women's tag match, we're at 58. Nyla Rose, Jade Cargill, and Thunder Rosa is 61. Vicky Guerrero and Mark Attorney. All right, we can leave them off. So we're at 61. MJF and Wardlow is 63. Sammy Guevara. You spelled it S-A-M-I. You caught me off guard. And Miro. And then Fuego del Sol. So we're like mid-60s right now. I mean, that's crazy. You put 65, and not including all the people we left out. They put 65 plus people on TV to fill up 2 hours. 65. No Malachi Black. No team. Could you imagine if Team Taz was on there? Then you had another 4 and Malachi. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I don't know. Interesting. But Darren, props to you. I honestly did not think that you were going to spend that time doing it. So I give you props, man. Sean Bedard wants to know, who do I think will be the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame next year? Batista. Remember they held off a year for him? I know some people think that should hold off till 2023. I say Batista. I mean, Batista, is not that close with WWE anymore, but he's not in enemy territory. So I think you put Batista in there without a doubt. No, I don't know about Undertaker, man. I'm telling you, man, with this Dark Side of the Ring stuff, I know they were doing the FMW stuff tonight. Them playing off the tragic end of FMW. Fuck you talking about tragic end. FMW was niche. It was violence. It was an extension of the 90s. Crazy ass shit going down. You could go to All Japan and all the other feds that were doing stuff. All right. Doesn't that go up against Moxley? When Moxley absolutely idolized some of those people? Tragic, my ass. Seriously, are they actually because the ropes exploded? It's tragedy. Seriously, come on, man. And then I'm looking clips of Mick Foley praising Onita. I'm sure, look, some of the wrestlers that got a lot of boo-boos from it, hey, they got paid crazy-ass money. Better than, local indies to go all the way to Japan and do that stuff. When the money comes in and you could get to buy whatever you want, everything is all cool in the gang. You know, it was hip during the Attitude Era. Everybody bragged about the exploding death matches. Everybody bragged about this stuff. The Funk Onita, Funk Foley, Sabu Onita, whoever it was. Everybody was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Well, now because we're in snowflake territory, it's tragic. Tragic, my asshole. Seriously, tragic. You bring up Yakuza stuff, and we find out that Onita, you know, they threaten to do this, you know, that's different. But, you know, I don't know, man. They just jumped the shark a couple of too many times for my standards. So, Darren Gordon Hill. Let me fix this. Just in time for something to pop up. Did it because he's been asking that same question for months? What kind of contracts are the undercard guys on per appearance? Yeah. A lot of those smaller, lower talents are per appearance. I mean, when you think back to the early days, everybody, you know, is going to be paid on the same scale based on yeah. Why do you think the Young Bucks are like the longest reigning AEW tag team champs of all time? Why do you think Kenny Omega is the longest reigning AEW heavyweight champion of all time? Yeah, you got the TNT title as well, but the TNT title feels more for a network than anything else. You know, come on, man. They throw a lot of statements out because it sounds good. It feels right. It sounds right. But at the end of the day, you see how nobody brings up that stuff anymore? My God, WWE got ragged on for year after year after year after year after year. Oh, they don't push minorities. They don't push women. They don't push minorities. This is disgusting. It's terrible. Now when you watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, it is overloaded. And I say that with love with minorities. And the women on NXT is shout. And where are all these people? And I'm not saying to go after AEW, but why don't you add how many black people were on AEW yesterday? Or women? You know, they had one tag team match. You know, come on. You know, that's why the selective outrage gets so exposed so quickly. I'm not calling out any promotions. Whoever is entertaining the fans and the fans want to see, that's who you feature on TV. You don't feature people on TV simply because, we have to fit a certain quota of women tonight. We have to have a certain number of black people or people of color tonight. You just put on who is bringing it and who the fans want to see. It's why I hate the people out there. If you don't like women's wrestling, you're a misogynist or whatever they say. Stupid stuff, man. So anyway, a lot of these lower card talents are paid by appearance. They are allowed to work elsewhere, but the thing is, you know, Tony Khan is the golden goose. So obviously, you know, everyone out there, it's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. People out there, if you're not 6 degrees of Kenny Omega, 6 degrees of the Young Bucks, 6 degrees of who that, 6 degrees of Cody, 6 degrees of Tony Khan, 6 degrees of Dustin, 6 degrees of whoever. You're not in that 6 degrees within those people. You better kiss their ass. Even if you're getting paid $10 and maybe a free, I don't know, Daly's Place cup that they're not using anymore. You have the opportunity. Should I work John's Steak and Wrestling Friday? But they may, well, no, actually Wednesday because Friday's taped. Or should I work there Wednesday? Or, you know, should I leave that date open for AEW? Everybody wants to go to the promised land, the golden goose. That's why everybody online, a lot of people online, I mean, just kissing ass so hard. I'm telling you, I don't know how Tony Khan could sit down at night. He's got lip marks from so many people in the podcast world, in the writers world, the wrestlers world. But it's a business. It's a business. So these wrestlers aren't stupid. They're going to keep their options open because if AEW comes a call, and even if it's darker elevation, I'm there. That's why when you see like, who's the wrestler that decided not to re-sign with them? Oh my God, what was his name? He was featured on Dark Ally. I know someone would pick it up like this. And the reason why I bring him up is because it stands out so much because no one else was doing that. Everybody else just sucks it up and sucks it up and sucks it up. Who's the wrestler? Who is the one? We saw him early on. Jimmy Havoc got fired. Not Jimmy Havoc. Somebody else was going to be an up-and-comer. I think he wrestled Jericho once, too. And then he just decided that, yeah, you know what? I gotta, do what's best for me. And he left. People just guessing wild out of their ass. You're going to make me say something that I'm going to regret? I'm going to describe him. Pineapple Pete. Thank you very much, Blue. You saved me. Pineapple Pete. I didn't want to say he's a black guy because it just doesn't sound right. Pineapple Pete. Remember that? Everybody's like, when Pineapple Pete said, look, thank you, AEW, for the opportunity, and everybody's like, oh, he really did. He left. Have you heard about Pineapple Pete since? I don't know. Yeah, I told you, Darren. It's not meant to be nasty. Sometimes when you want to describe someone, what am I supposed to say? I forgot that he was named after a fruit. Then I would have said that. Chris is like, oh, he's gone? Yeah, he's been gone for a while. Yeah, Michael Gonzalez, I think Brian Cage will leave AEW. I really do. Brian Cage said what a lot of people are thinking, but a lot of people are afraid to open their mouth. And look, we're not taking credit for a Dunzo Army, but you and I have been saying this for a year and a half now. They treat their big men like shit. They don't know. When Cody, I'm telling you, he will never escape it. I will never let it go. When he did that promo in that parking lot, and Cody closed the trunk on the door on Dynamite, and it closed the trunk, taking his bag out of the trunk, and said, we're a light heavyweight promotion. I said, oh, Brian Cage, wait till you see what you're in for. Oh, they gave him a title that's not recognized by AEW. Just think about that for a minute. Even though it was defended on pay-per-views, FTW title is not recognized by AEW. So what did Brian Cage really have? We could show up and have our own titles, right? We could bring them in. Brian Cage has been treated like shit in that company. Brian Cage has all the components and the skills to be a heavyweight champion. And you see what's going on. Oh, now the Young Bucks. Now they're the longest rated tag champs. But, we had to give it to the Lucha Brothers. So let's give ourselves trios titles. Now the Young Bucks, in defense, they kick ass in the ring. They're awesome in the ring. So I'm not criticizing their ability. But you see how the sausage is made. All the titles, for the most part, are reflected. And look, the Lucha Brothers win the title. And they're regulated to backstage segments now with Andrade. But meanwhile, the Elite come out to the ring. Not only do they come out to the ring, they don't run to the ring. They just, for 7 minutes, elite, 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 blah, 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 elite, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to have 9 people cut promos. Let's see the Lucha Brothers get that kind of TV time. And don't say to me, well, they don't speak English really all that well. Come on. Miro is not the light heavyweight champion. But Brian Cage is treated like shit. Brian Cage, I think, will leave. Because what is AEW going to do? Promise him? Look, Brian, if you stay in for the long haul, I'm telling you, you'll get your day. A lot of promotions do that to people. Nah, man, that guy, you don't know how many years he has left in his career. That guy's not going to just take years off of his career. That guy is going to kick ass. Look at Lance Archer. Lance Archer. He won that New Japan Championship off of Moxley, which was a great match. And then what has he done? He's wrestled for other promotions, and when he's on TV for AEW, he loses now. He lost, 2 matches in a row? What are they doing with Lance Archer? Hobbs? Oh, he put CM Punk to a table. Where's Hobbs? He wrestled CM Punk. Now what? Let's see what they do with Hobbs over the next 4 weeks. I guarantee you 4 weeks from now, when we get to Halloween, if I was Hobbs for Halloween, I would dress up as a Young Buck or as Kenny Omega. Might be a little difficult, but, he's so big. I know what some of you are thinking. But let's see a month from now. Remember Nikki Ash? Remember Mish and I having that discussion when she first won that championship? And I said, let's give it a month and let's see what they do. And it was a joke, her women's championship run. Shout out to Jason Lynn. Remember, he was going to have me and Mish help propose to Jessica. He was 42. She was 24. Today's their 3rd anniversary. That's awesome, man. Yeah, for those that don't know, back in the day, was it 3-4 years ago? Jason Lynn was going to get engaged, and he kind of was talking about me and Mish to bring it up, but I kind of misread it, and I kind of popped the question. So we actually, helped them get engaged, and they're married, 3 anniversary. That's awesome, man. September 3rd, 2022. Yours truly. I'll finally get laid. Nah, next September, I walk that aisle. And let me tell you something. I know a lot of you out there don't know about my fiance all that much, but believe me when I tell you, you give her a lot of credit because she puts up with a lot of my shit and she lets me do this. Sometimes we're in the middle of a conversation. All right, I got to go. I got to go do my show. Sometimes on the weekends, we're having a nice, us time. It's Saturday night. You know what that means? So she's a wrestling fan, not as much as all of us, but she lets me do this. And, she's good people. She's very good people. So anyway, yeah, a lot of people were like, because I know the 18-year age difference between Jason and his wife. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Shout out to AES 7607. We exchanged some emails earlier. For all of you out there that, miss her in the chat room, she's been going through some shit. I want to just say it like that. I know it sounds kind of unclear, but she's got our support. Absolutely. I had to put the air conditioner on. Oh, look at this. I completely forgot. Somebody sent me this. Doesn't Sting look constant? You know what that face looks like? It looks like Sting yesterday when he was going to jump the guardrail. Did anybody pick up on that yesterday? Where Sting went to jump the guardrail and he's like, I'm too fucking old for this. I watched some of Dynamite again today to see I have to admit when I'm wrong. I said yesterday that before Sammy even pinned Miro, that Brody's son was around ringside. I'm like, shouldn't they all stay in the back and wait until Sammy wins and then they come running out? Oh, some of you are going to laugh at this one. And some of you already gave it to me. Remember when I said that yesterday? That wasn't Brody's son. That was Fuego del Sol. I'm sorry, I got the wrong child around ringside. It was freaking Fuego. I thought it was his son because he was bent down. Look, I understand why a lot of people are, really into Fuego because of all the internet stuff and the YouTube stuff. But come on, man, his record is like what, 0-44? And I'm not exact. It's right around that. And, like, come on, it's not even 1-2 kid territory, 1-2-3 kid territory anymore. I made that comparison a long time ago. Reminds me of the 1-2-3 kid. But, you kidding me? Anyway. So, yeah, look at Sting's face, man. I mean, when that passed, like, production in 1998, Sting is, you know what that was? Sting, we got to take a picture of your face so we could put it on this candy. And he looked at this candy and he's like, you're going to put my face? Psh. He had this look on his face. Or you know what they did? I know what they did. Sting, we got to put you in a match later on. So just give us your face of like excitement that, you're going to wrestle this guy. And Sting is like, huh? Are you fucking kidding me? Psh, took the picture. Yes, they are sealed too with gum. Everybody is sending me outdated gum. Why are you sending me outdated gum? I want better stuff. I want Ultimate Warrior cereal. I want to open that shit and eat it with almond milk. Give it a shot. Yeah, look at his face. It looks like, man, I got to take a shit. Or, man, there's no toilet paper in this bathroom. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? Seriously? It's funny, man. It does look creepy. The Goldberg one looks like Steve Austin. It does. If I held the bottom like this, the label, and I said, oh, look, we got Steve Austin gum, people would be like, yeah, that looks cool. So what should we do next? Should we take calls? It's going to be a little early night tonight. Tomorrow we have the draft, night 1. Now, we are going to see some NXT stars move to Raw and SmackDown. Now, when we did the contest, we did not include NXT because really we did not know what was going to happen with NXT. But as we said yesterday, I think people like Xia Li is 1,000% going to the main roster. So now they're throwing some fantasies out there online, like what NXT star, and everybody's like Braun Breaker. I think that is way too soon. Guy never even worked the indies. He looks like $1 million. He's going to be a future megastar. There's no reason to rush him right now. Braun Breaker should stay in NXT for at least 6 months to a year, then reevaluate it. Leave him in there for 3 months, 4 months. Let him go into the Royal Rumble. Let him let him be the star of the Royal Rumble and see how the WWE Universe reacts to him. And then you reconsider it. But right now, I would not put Braun Breaker on the main roster. I would want Braun Breaker to be the focal point of NXT. Hell yeah. No, I don't want Cameron Grimes on the main roster either. Think I want to see that on Raw? Cameron Grimes! I can't even like joke with the chest hair anymore because it's starting to get a little gray. Much love, Daphne. So sad what happened, man. But, yeah, what are you going to do? I'm just glad I got the shirt to close out September. So, anyway, what should we do? Take calls? Show some wrestle crap? Video wrestle crap from 2006? Or do I try the Undertaker Bubble Gum? That's your choices right now. Calls, video, gum. We'll let the chat room decide. In fact, we'll even put up the chat room. So for documentation, it's not too early. We already gone 45 minutes, dude. We're already halfway there, brother. Let's see. Maybe I could fix this chat room a little bit. It's like, it's a couple of lines down. And I hate when things are not like absolutely perfect. Let me see what happens if I do this. I'm doing this in real time, so my apologies. My apologies. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Right one. I guess we could leave it like this. Where am I? Where am I? All right, everybody's like the gum. Really? You really want to see me go gag on 25-year-old gum or whatever. So there you go. That's better. See, I know for my audio only friends out there, which is a majority of you, you get a little annoyed sometimes when I'm tinkering with video stuff, but once in a while stop by the video things. We blew up Goldberg last week. I thought that was some funny shit. And, I was a little worried. I was really worried. I honestly thought I was going to get water all over me. And thank God that didn't happen. But I still got the box because somebody reached out to me and they're like, dude, I have that, but I don't have the box anymore. So I'm going to send somebody the box. So everybody's saying, do the gum. All right. So you know what? I'll leave it all up to you. I'll leave it all up to you. We actually, no, let's save this one for next week. Should we just do the Undertaker gum? Should we do this? I think we should. Maybe we can do the other one after. This is what it looks like. I tell you, when you zoom in on it, my only complaint is I don't remember Undertaker with white fingernail paint. I don't recall Undertaker with a Steve Austin skull tattoo. Again, for those that are tuning in late, look, he's got a Steve Austin tattoo. And he's got the cross on the other side. Undertaker. And he's got white fingernail paint. It almost looks like that they used the Jeff Hardy Steve Austin template. And I'm not kidding. When you look at the face up close, let's look at the face up close. It looks like they had someone else this designed for and decided, let's put a goatee. Let's add some hair to it. He's got a lot of bags under his eyes. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's put this in the corner. All right, let's open this bad boy. Now, there's a little bit of an argument online because, number one, no one on YouTube has ever opened up one of these before. And, when people have emailed me and say, hey, I got this, you want this, you want this. Now, not everybody is giving it to me for free. I'll be honest with you. I have traded some stuff with some people. Some people got some DT mugs, a bobblehead, 2 T-shirts. Some people are negotiating. But this one, no one has ever opened. And when I did the history on it, some places say it's candy and some places say it's gum. The reason why I think it's gum is because I can't read the ingredients. The ingredients, it's too small. If you look at the back of it, I can't read that. Even if I had like 20/20 vision, I can't read that. So it's either gum or it's candy. But it's never been opened before. Oh, that's not sealed. Oh, that's not good. It smells like plastic. I don't know if you could see inside here. No, you really can't. That sucks, man. You really, let's see. All right. Okay. This is my fiance's brother is an artist. He actually drew that. I'm going to take a little of this, put it on here so you can see what it looks like. Can you see that? I really don't want this to start falling behind my desk. It looks like little specks, but not for nothing. I don't think it's supposed to look like brown. See the brown ones? The brown ones look like an 80-year-old's rotten teeth. When like an 80-year-old starts like losing the teeth? I don't know if it's supposed to be red. I mean brown like that. Seriously, it looks like there's got to be something better I could put this in. I don't want to put it in my hands, but let me put this up here for a second. I want to put like a whole bunch. Oh, no, a paper towel's not going to do it. Let me see. There's so much of it, so all right. Yeah, you can see that. That's what it looks like. It actually doesn't look too bad, but the little brown ones is what's making me a little nervous. So, you know what it looks like, actually? Check this out. You know what it looks like? It looks like Rice Krispies. I don't know. Yeah, I know my hands are a little grimy, but that's what it looks like. I don't know if it's gum or if it's candy. Oh, it smells like plastic. Avoid the brown. It's not easy to pick the brown ones off. All right, well, there's so much in there, so I could take it and put it in the cup. We don't have to try these. You can see it down there. It looks like colored pebbles. It looked like somebody was on the beach and had magic markers and colored rocks. Oh, I don't even know what this smells like. Is there a brand on the container? No. It says 1998 Titan Sports Incorporated, made in China. China! All right. All right. I'm going to take a red one. This is a big red one. Look. It's not bad. I think it is gum. I think it is gum. All right, let's try a couple more. My tongue is turning into George Steele red. It tastes like cardboard. It's got a little sugary taste to it, but it tastes like cardboard. Don't eat the blue ones. I'll tell you what. I sound like Big Daddy Kane. I'm taking nothing but blue ones. Let's even make my tongue blue. Let's even make my tongue swollen. I just realized I haven't had sugar. I've been on keto. Remember that episode of Beavis and Butthead when he was eating all? Let me think if I have a blue tongue. Yeah. Remember with Beavis and Butthead episode where he ate all the sugar and that's what I feel like right now. It's gum. Yeah. Now I want to eat a turnbuckle. All right, and take a little bit more, and that's it. All right. Oh, I don't know, man. This brown one, I'm telling you, it looks like somebody's rotten tooth. I am Cornelio. For my bunghole. All right, one more. Yeah, look. I haven't had sugar. It's not bad. It's really not bad. I don't know what the hell it is, though. It's definitely gum. It's definitely gum. Oh, my God. Now I'm getting it on my fingers. All right. I think I had enough of it. Does anybody want this? Pretty cool. I mean, I would probably send it without candy. I mean, I could send it like this. If anybody lives in the United States, so I don't have to spend like crazy shipping, if you want this, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to throw it out. It's too small to keep back there. I got to take a slug of water, though. Because now, I don't know, man. You know what I'll do? Look at my tongue. Look at the tongue. You know what I got to do? Just for safekeeping, because we don't know if there's germs or bacteria. Hi, but hey, it doesn't want to come off. It still doesn't want to come off. Look, it hardly came off. My tongue is, for those in audio only. You know what it looks like? I just figured it out. I know exactly what it looks like. Exactly what it looks like. I'm sorry. I'm putting all the candy in the thing. I'm sorry because I don't want you to see the mouthwash, but I know exactly what this looks like. And when I tell you, you're going to say, oh, yeah, it does. Look, you see that? Know what it looks like? Fruity Pebbles. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like Fruity Pebbles. You know what it looks like? It looks like when you were a kid and you had like a little brother or sister that you wanted to like haze. So you would go to the beach and you would take your magic markers and you would paint tiny little rocks and you mix them with the Fruity Pebbles. So the next morning when your little brother or sister has to go to school and like, Mom, I want Fruity Pebbles for breakfast. And inside the Fruity Pebbles, you had little actual pebbles, painted. And then you would bite on it and look like a bad Benny Hill cartoon. Oh, it looks like Fruity Pebbles. It looks just like Fruity Pebbles. All right. There's still some left, but that is your Undertaker gum from 1998, almost 24 years old. My tongue better not stay this color. I just tried to wipe it off with the paper towel and it does not want to come off. It does look like Nerds candy as well. My tongue feels weird now. I'm not kidding. It feels like little bumps. Oh, we tried it. All right. Want to watch a little bit of WrestleCrap? Show you a little bit. It's only about 10 minutes. It's not a long video. So we'll watch a little WrestleCrap. Again, this is from 2006. I am managing somebody that's involved with the Mass Maniac. So I'm technically against the Mass Maniac. Somehow Tommy Dreamer gets involved in all of this. He only makes a cameo for about 30 seconds. But it's one of the worst matches you will ever see. Yeah, it does look like George the Animal Steel. Didn't Liv Morgan? Liv Morgan had the blue tongue too, right? You'll see me. But again, for those that are tuning in a little bit late, I passed around 50 DVD cases. I made beautiful cover art, and it was the best of Low Life Louie. And when I gave it to everybody at ringside and they opened the cases, there were no discs inside. So, when I was involved in storylines, I worked my ass off to try to be the most creative, the most in thorough. And even though my stuff wasn't good, I always wanted A for effort. Just like now. I'm sure people out there on YouTube are like, this fucking Bush League little pussy rookie eating candy. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, give me WWF shit from 1979 and watch me eat it. So I'm sure there's a lot of people. I'm not doing it to compete with anybody online. You all want to send me stuff and want me to be the guinea pig. If it makes you, you smile a little bit, get your mind off your bullshit for a little while, then my job is complete. So anyway, go check out some of the worst wrestling in history. And a little treat. I told you that I was on some cards with some very big people in wrestling. Next week, I'm going to probably play a match involving CM Punk, a show that I was on with him. And then the infamous Loki match. For those that may be newer to the shows, one of the reasons why I disliked Loki for 20 years was back in 2005, I think it was, the Mass Maniac allowed me to be partners with him at shows. And I made money. I made decent money with him. And the Elks Lodge, the Madhouse of Extreme, where ECW and even Bully Ray said recently that the Madhouse of Extreme on Queens Boulevard was one of the most epic places to do ECW shows from. that place was no longer going to have wrestling. So in 2005, we were having the last ever wrestling show there. And this is the God honest truth. The Mass Maniac is still alive. When I tell stories, I usually tell them while people are alive. So if you think that I'm lying, you could check with them. You notice when people pass away, oh, I was just on the phone with this person yesterday. We were like this. We ate dinner last week. I banged this person. Because they know they can't come down and say, a liar, full of shit. All the stories come out after they die. But I always tell the stories while people are alive. We were going to have the last ever wrestling show at the Elks Lodge. We wanted to have a faction, a big faction. The Masked Maniac always loved the Dungeon of Doom. He loved Kevin Sullivan. He loved Kamala. He loved different members of the Dungeon of Doom. So the Masked Maniac wanted to reunite the Dungeon of Doom. I said to the Masked Maniac, this is the Elks Lodge. This is where ECW was at its best. We got to reform the triple threat. Bam Bam Bigelow, Shane Douglas, Sonny, Chris Candido, God rest his soul. Bam Bam as well. And the Masked Maniac, that's the same show I told you where Bam Bam Bigelow mooned the crowd. I have the footage. Roger Rubio, I thought you were working tonight, brother. I have the footage of Bam Bam Moon in the crowd. I could show it to you next week. That's the same show where I was watching all their gear in the kitchen while they were out in the ring. But here's the catch. The Masked Maniac said to me, he's like, you want the triple threat? No problem. But at that time, Tammy and Chris Candido were very, very iffy, as was Bam Bam Bigelow. And the Masked Maniac said, if you want to reform the triple threat, you have to pay them out of your pocket. Now, looking back on it, very, very smart businessman he is. He's like, you want to take that risk, you pay it out of your pocket. If it works out, you get the money back. So I paid Tammy, Chris Candido, and Bam Bam Bigelow out of my own pocket. And it was great. So that same night, Low-Key took on Sanjay Dutt. Two legends in wrestling. And they had a match that everybody in wrestling in 2005 was talking about. It was such a big match. It was covered in Japanese magazines. It was covered in Mexican magazines. And somebody did an interview with Low-Key like a year later and said, you know, like, we hear about this match that you had with Sanjay Dutt, the last Elks Lodge show in New York. What are your memories of that match? And I'll never forget what this son of a bitch said. Such a classy guy. Low-Key says, I wish it would have been in another promotion. Man, blow me, you asshole. You did it in front of 1,400 fans. The last ever Elks Lodge show. You do a fucking interview, and because it's USA Pro Wrestling, oh, I wish it was under a better promotion, a different promotion. You asshole. That's why I always disliked the guy, and then obviously the other reasons after it. But I have that match. And I paid Masked Maniac money in the past to let me stream some of this stuff. So you thank the Masked Maniac for that. But maybe next week we'll stream that match. And you will realize that 17 years later, that match is still got shelf life. That's how good it was. Arguably the best indie match that I ever seen in person with my own eyes. That's how good it was. So if you all want to see it next week, I will be more than happy to stream it for you. But for now, you get one of the worst matches of all time. And look, I got to give props to Sean the Mick. He actually mentioned some of the things that I was trying to do. I just wish the fucking camera would have been on it a little bit better. So I'm going to disable the Streamlabs, the super chats for a few moments. So sit back and relax and watch some of the worst wrestle crap you've ever seen. I'll try to keep the chat room on the screen.
What the hell do you want from us?
For a prick or a basketball in my ass.
Who's hit me smacked in the ass?
He did?
Yeah!
Hey, come on, I'm the 28 shirt. Can't fly, okay?
Right, both. They're dead.
Yo, G. Did you throw around
No, he hit
a
you.
brick?
No, he hit
A
you.
basketball?
I'd rather hit you. Let me get back. You hit you, liar.
Listen up. Listen. Hey, close. What's your name?
James.
James.
You faggot over
James.
here.
He probably leaves his house.
Pay attention to me. I'm gonna be watching you. All right? James. Like a hawk.
Yo, watch him. Watch him. Yo, you watch him. He
Like a hawk.
My God, that kid has worse bags under his eyes than CM Punk. Did you see that? Look at the kid, and I think I just heard some very salty language from those little kids. That is the Masked Maniac, by the way. You will obviously recognize me in a moment. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I'll fix it, everybody. Hold on. Let me fast forward it. There we go.
Did you throw around me?
No, he hit you.
A brick? Listen up. Listen. Hey, close. What's your name?
James.
James.
You faggot over here.
He probably leaves his house.
Pay attention to me. I'm gonna be watching you. All right? James. Like a hawk.
Yo, watch him. Watch him. Yo, you watch him. He
Like a hawk. Hey, James. Quiet down. James, this isn't Disney World. Quiet. This isn't Disney World, James. I don't have to be nice to you.
All right. We got it.
Hold on. Come here.
All right, get ready.
There you go. Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, shit. I know. We're in Jamaica Avenue now, right? $35 tickets? Huh? Yeah. I want to see your tickets. 35 for one.
He was jacked, Masked Maniac. Masked Maniac had some legit guns, man.
That bitch has been out there scalping tickets all day.
Yo, click with the finger.
Oh, that's good. Nobody ever did that to me. Your mother. Oh, my mother. Again, something I've never heard. Let me ask you a question, son. Do they let you out of the home every day? Do they?
I'll give your mom a present tonight.
My mother will appreciate your 2-inch penis. Give me the penis.
All right, here comes WrestleCrap.
I think he's
By the way, NDK on his tights stands for the new Dynamite Kid. I kid you not. There's the DVDs.
Hold on to this.
And de Blasi is coming back to the ring with something in a bag. Could it be more cannolis?
Probably more money for Frank.
That could be a possibility.
I think it's not a possibility. I think that's what happens.
And the Dynamite Kid.
The NDK for short.
Ken accompanied by Mr. Big, is making his way to the ring as we speak.
And I heard he's called Mr. Big by the female fans too.
I would know nothing about that. As the Dynamite Kid is paying his respects to Chris Candido as he's wearing a no gimmicks needed yellow Chris Candido t-shirt.
If anyone knows the NDK, there's definitely a lot of gimmicks needed to watch him wrestle. Dana Damison.
Sean does not have nice things to say as his alcohol tolerance is getting higher.
Tolerance? Look at that man's man. What do you think of that sexy blue singlet, Dana?
I think it's amazing.
It's amazing! Like Aerosmith. And look at it. See what's on
I can tell.
Match of the year.
Is this roller? The Masked Maniac locking up with Dynamite Kid. Masked Maniac, quite possibly one of the worst wrestlers in the world, with one of the biggest egos to walk the planet. Sean McCaffrey.
Just checking out on the cameras, Dana. And look at this, the Masked Maniac is pounding and wailing away on the NDK, the new Dynamite Kid.
And I think de Blasio is handing out money to the fans.
What's he still doing out here?
I don't know, but
I think everybody has dangerous. That's what our fans are trying to tell us.
What do you think about the ridiculous one-pack on the Masked Maniac? Is that the most sickest thing you've ever seen?
Well, I got a 24-pack in the booth. If he's only got a 1-pack, he ain't packing like Sean the Mick. Woo!
We were talking about where we're going to go for drinks later.
He's got him in a figure 4 leg lock. Woo! Ric Flair right here. He's supposed to move earlier with Xavier Luke Skipper. This could be the end of the match. This could be the end of the match. This could be it. This could be it. This could be it. Oh, only two. Only two, Dan, on that exchange.
Only two. What are we gonna do?
Touch my ass and make a poo. Woo! That doesn't even make sense. But look at this. And Maniac, it looks like he's getting reversed. His white sneakers and that figure 4 leg lock.
And de Blasio is leaving the premises.
Thank God. Hopefully he paid Frank all the money he owes him.
And what the hell is going on in the ring as quite possibly one of the worst wrestlers of all time, the Masked Maniac?
And you've seen a lot of bad wrestlers, Dana. You've matched Papa Don.
I've never managed Papa Don.
Oh, thank God.
Josh Dealey.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. And look at this. Carmine Sabia sucks ass.
Oh my God, is that Carmine Sabia Jr. that just walked in the building straight out of the mean streets of Belleville, New Jersey?
No, because he doesn't leave his house.
Oh my God. Oh my God! And Ken Sweeney with the pin to Dynamite Kid. 2.
And Dana, do you see the people that look like Joe Brady here? In the hizzy?
I don't know nothing about Joe Brady.
In the his house?
In the his house.
So
We got about 4 minutes left.
In the his house is none other than Sandman being crowded by a bunch of fans as this boring match is taking place.
Yeah, it seems like it's going a little bit too long. And Sweeney's got a chair that he stole from fucking Jack Sabbath show.
Who's your pick for this match, Sean? I picked Frank. I'm in the Masked Maniac because he would put himself over in his own company.
Yeah, but at least he puts himself over against ticket sales, not real wrestlers.
Wow, harsh words coming from the commish.
Look at this. MDK is trying to scale a rope. Mr. Big is holding his foot. I didn't realize Mr. Big was doing that.
Oh, and the chair shot to the head.
What
and,
the?
And de Blasio is back at ringside.
Did he get more money to pay Frank? He's
what
like,
is he doing going
he's like
back
Scrooge from
and forth?
DuckTales, just gonna get more money for Frank.
And it appears that he's having some heat with Mr. Big.
And why is the ring empty right now? Like, wow.
And he's giving away free stuff as usual to the fans.
I think he's giving out DVDs, but there's no DVDs
and
actually in the box.
Sweeney is a bloody mess.
No, he's not.
He is.
A bloody mess is what happens to you on Tuesdays on the 1st of the month.
Not funny.
I'm sure some fans laughed. And Sweeney's got that chair. Have you seen that triple jump move?
Here's the finale.
And we got
The
the
finale.
world's best ref in this match.
I think there's more talent in the referee than what we see in the ring right now.
Absolutely 110% correct.
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 And look at Ken Sweeney with a left-hand slap, and what do we? He just like left him
Who
there.
is this ugly man in blue? Could he be a
Jew?
I don't know.
You say ooh, I hear Jew.
Ooh.
Jew.
Ooh.
Jew.
Ooh.
Jew.
This is some racism going on over here.
It's not racist if you don't mean it.
As this Irish man is.
Who's that redhead? Looks like Tony Katane.
Who's that blonde signing autographs over there with hat?
I don't know, maybe his girlfriend, maybe she's watching the line. But let's talk about Serial Life 6. But it's probably more entertaining than this match. Oh wait! What? Is this elimination?
I managed the winner.
The MDK just pinned the masked Maniac. What the hell was that?
Go in the back, go in the back. Go in the back, Kenny. Kenny, go in the back, man. Go in the back. Yeah,
Sweetie! Pay attention! Again, Tommy! Again! Someone! Get the strap! Come on, Tommy!
Oh my God. How do you like that, WrestleCrap? I have battle royals with 20, 30 people that it's even worse than that. I had fun still, though. I had fun, man. I miss it. I miss it. There's so many more I got to pull out of the archives, but that one was funny. But yeah, I was passing around. I still got to show you the night where I threw X-Lax in the ring and got pelted with hot dogs and sodas and cups. It looked like NWO when they were throwing garbage in the ring. The tongue is still blue as fuck. No matter what I look, I'm not kidding. Watch, look, I'm dead serious. Watch. Nothing. That shit ain't changing. That ain't changing. So anyway, you want to take some calls? Let's take some calls. Let's talk some AEW, WWE, NXT. You want to talk about the draft? Anything that's on? Oh, by the way, some of you had the balls to ask me, did you watch Growing Up Brandy or The Roads or Roads to the Top, whatever it's called, Roads on Top? It did 422,000 viewers. They will never go anywhere near that rating again. I watched 5 minutes of it, and I do not take back anything I said yesterday. In 2021, where COVID is still killing tremendous numbers of people, yes, a lot of people not vaccinated as a result. When you see businesses still closing down, businesses struggling, people struggling, you see prices going through the roof, and TNT actually has the mindset that, yeah, this is the right time to put this shit on TV. You fucking kidding me? Unless Cody embraces the hate. Unless he does that, this is honestly, unequivocally, one of the dumbest decisions for a reality show in history. In the middle of fucking COVID. They're sitting there. His nails are like manicured, and he's got pedicures, and he's got gloss on his nails, and everything is perfectly this and perfectly that. No. And you know what's the worst part about it? Reality shows are an extension of your real life, but amped up to a different level. A lot of people know this already, but for those that may not, and I'm not saying to brag, I'm just proving a point. John Gotti's family, Vicky and the kids and some others, a few of them went to my wedding in 1999. They had a TV show called Growing Up Gotti. My friend Joey used to cut all their hair. I knew a lot of members in the family. And one time, I was hanging up at my friend Joey's house, and two of the Gotti kids came over for haircuts to get just cleaned up, a little trim. And, we were talking about the show. This was right towards the beginning of Growing Up Gotti was on the air. And the one thing that they said is, man, they have us like forcing this, lying about this, exaggerating this, pushing this. He's like, this show is nothing about us growing up. A lot of it was just bullshit. And, they were a little frustrated, but they were getting paid nice. And it was, for a little while, it was an interesting reality show to be on TV. But the thing is, when you look at Cody and Brandy Rhodes, you've seen enough footage of them outside of reality TV that this is how they are. This is their livelihood. And again, as I did say yesterday, they work their ass off. They should enjoy their hard work. But to flaunt it on YouTube videos, to flaunt it on cable, to flaunt it the way they do, this is a far cry from a son of a plumber. And I don't care how many times you want to do the, we should all love each other, no matter what color you are thing. No matter how many times you want to think about your dad and everybody puts a tear to their eye, which we should, because we all miss Dusty. At the end of the day, that this guy has no problem showing it off. Not in the fucking middle of COVID. Not in the middle of COVID. If he embraces the hate and goes heel and does a storyline where people stop beating the shit out of Cody and letting the fans vent and get into this and take it a little personal, that's different. But when he says, oh, no, I will quit wrestling before I turn heel. Son, you are so out of touch with real street life. He's already heel and he doesn't know it. So good. So good. If you disagree with me, call in. Anyway, I am going to switch the template. There we go. 833-366-8686 or 225-366-8669. If anybody that's catching this later on that was unable to watch it on Facebook, there was some issues with my software tonight. It was not connecting to the Facebook server. So my apologies if anybody later on says, I was trying to connect and I couldn't get through. But if you want to call in, let's just keep the conversations a little tighter. Monday was great. I love the topics Monday. I checked back at some of the conversations. One person was 13 minutes. One person was 11. One person was 8. That's too much. Too long. Hey, you're on. Who's this? Oh, we lost him. Good evening. You're on. Who's this? Oh, we lost him. It's all right. It's connecting. The other server is connecting right now. How is the call quality? It was bad. Software. Let's go. Should take only a couple of seconds, everybody. I promise you, sometime in the month of October, I'm going to change the software to make everything seamless on the computer so I don't have to keep using the cell phone for this stuff, because it is a little bit annoying to keep going back and forth. And sometimes the do not disturb does not release. So, all right, I am turning it off. All right, let's go. 833-366-8686 or 225 Don Tony if you want to call in. And once we're done with calls tonight, we are done till Saturday. Good evening, you're on. Who's this?
You mean good morning, DT?
Hey, Near, what's going on, my friend? Congrats. I mean, let me just set this up for everybody. You know, for those that might be newer to the show, you know, especially on Thursdays, we have, you know, we talk wrestling, but we also talk, you know, real life stuff. I mean, anything that anybody wants to talk about, you know, Thursday, we all, you know, that's one thing I love about the shows. We make room for obviously real life. And Nir is tuning in right now, and he lives in Israel. So if anybody has ever paid attention to news, death to Israel, Palestinian-Israeli conflict, you know, what Iran wants to do, and all that crazy, scary stuff that we see from thousands of miles away, he's living there right now. And little by little, you have more Palestinians and Israelis that are trying to come together. And it's going to take a generation to have and I hate saying it like this, but a lot of the old mentality, they have to die off. And the more that happens, the more it reminds me, it's like the opposite of China in 1972. For those that don't understand, China in 1972 was not this mega power with technology and everything that they have now. In 1972, that is when the leader, and I can't remember his name right now, but that leader wanted all the young people, mostly men, to step up and, you know, move away from, you know, all of the ideas and just really, and you see what the result is now. A lot of communism going on overseas, but here in where Near lives, it's pretty much the opposite. And you hear more and more people trying to push peace, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, last Sunday I was in the Palestinian territories, the West Bank, as people call it, and we met with a movement called the Roots, which is a movement made by Palestinians and Israeli settlers, which is basically the enemy coming together.
Nice.
What the movement does is basically get youth to come together from both sides to share their experience and their stories, and basically to create a better life for all people living over there in the West Bank, not just for Palestinians, not just for settlers, because there is a big gap between the life of Jews in the West Bank and the Palestinians in the West Bank. There's a huge gap, and the movement calls for better life for everyone. And yeah, it was amazing. It was an experience that was between hopelessness and despair and hope and happiness and you know, a lot of place for optimism, despite of the great pain that was felt over there by mostly by Palestinians, I have to say, but also by Jews as well.
Yeah.
You know, and
you know,
and I hope to go there more often.
Yeah,
it's important.
It's sad though that Palestinians that are part of this movement, their faces have to be blurred. They cannot reveal their identity in fear of not only what will happen to them, but what will happen to their family. You know, I mean, I see people, and I'm sorry for saying it like this, I see people and, you know, their biggest anger is, you know, somebody not being pushed properly in wrestling. And, you're living in an area of the world where you wake up sometimes, maybe not as much as before, but you wake up to sirens and you got to wonder, like, what the hell is going on? And, you almost feel, like just helpless. That what do? You have to just hope and pray that, nothing terrible happens and then it subsides. But, I try to pay attention as much as I can. And it's wonderful to hear news like that. And, hopefully as time goes by, the movement gets bigger, bigger and bigger. And I tell you, I don't ever like to compare countries to other countries. But the one thing that I notice about Palestine, I don't need to say is about Israel, because Israel, already stands up for themselves, no question. But with Palestine, I see more Palestinians willing to stand up for what's right compared to some other countries where, you hear about Taliban taking over and all of the locals, they just run away. And that's something that's why I think this is very promising, because you don't see people running away. And that is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, the problem is when Palestinians stand up, people interpret it as they're standing up only against Israel, and that's not true. They're also standing up against Hamas, which is a terrorist organization that makes life miserable to people in Gaza. They're standing up against the PA, which is a corrupted government. Not just Israel. Israel does. I criticize Israel a lot. Israel is not an angel. We have to improve also the life of our neighbors. We have a lot of responsibility, but we are not people. There are people that call Israel. They say that Israel is responsible for everything wrong with the Middle East. Not just Palestinian. Everything wrong with the Middle East is on Israel. No, that's not the case. Regarding the Palestinians, there was a guy over there that said, I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I'm not afraid to tell what I'm thinking, and you can take my photos, and you don't have to blur it. And then it says that he was basically in the Israeli prison, which means in Palestinian culture that he's safe. He can't be judged because it's a very high respect to be in Israeli prison. Then another guy that we went to the closed room to talk, and he wanted to take a photo. We said, no, please, no, I'm afraid. So you understand that you need to that the PA is really against normalization. It's against normalizing the relationship between Israelis and Palestinians because it keeps the PA in power. Hopefully the movement will grow. There are a lot of movements right now that are trying to, create peace from the ground up, as we say.
Yeah.
And social media does a lot of help with this. I mean, social media is not all bad.
Right.
I agree. There are a lot of positive thoughts about it.
Social media is as bad as you let it to be. That you let it be.
Exactly.
You don't have to be surrounded by toxic environments and hate. That's why I always, even when I used to be in chat rooms or whether it's here or Discord or others, and people are saying to me like, this guy won't stop. He won't leave me alone. And I say, block the person. You don't need to. If someone really rubs you the wrong way, just block them. And a lot of people, it's just weird how they don't block the person and they'd rather just be around that toxic environment. But I'm really, really happy for you. And, it's going to take time. And like you said before, it may not be my lifetime or your lifetime, but you're doing it for your daughter, for your kid. And, hopefully when they get older, that they have a much better environment that we have now. But compared to even 5 years ago, that's wonderful news. Good.
Yeah.
Very happy for you.
Yeah.
Good. Keep fighting.
Thank you, DT. Thank you.
Much love.
Thank
Have
you.
a
I
nice
will.
weekend. All the
Bye-bye,
best.
DT. Much love.
Great. Take care.
Bye.
All right. I love hearing stuff like that. I know, it's, very, very serious talk, but, one thing that does for me is when I think about little bullshit things going in my neighborhood. Oh, I got a noisy neighbor. Then I see what this guy goes through. Much different. Hey, you're on. Who's this?
Hey, this is RMJ20.
Hey, what's up, man? Nice to hear from you.
Not much. Not much is going on. I have one question.
Sure.
It's a family matter.
Okay.
So, I'm a banquet chef, and my cousin is getting married at my job. So, my question is, how can I enjoy my cousin's wedding without stressing about work?
Well, let me put it this way. Since you're cooking, everybody at that reception is going to be eating your cooking. So even though it's going to be strenuous, even though you're going to be sweating up a storm, even though you may not be dressed for it, and even though you may not be able to enjoy it, but something tells me that at certain point after everybody has their food served, that you'll probably be able to have some time to go out there and socialize a little bit. And then you'll have probably about 50 to 100 people telling you how awesome the food was and everything. And you'll very quickly forget about, all of that hard work that you put in for them. Just remember, this is obviously a job and you'd rather be out there enjoying the night with your family, but you're very important to them. And I'm not just saying that to kiss up. You're very important to that reception because, when I go to weddings, I'm getting married next September. And when we chose the place that we chose where we're going to have it, the first thing out of my fiance's mouth was, their food is amazing. I could call her right now and say, what was the number one reason why you chose this place? And she'll say, because the food is amazing. So you have a much bigger job there than you think because everybody's going to remember the food. They'll remember the reception, but they'll remember the food. And if you knock it out of the park, people are always going to remember that. Wow, remember that wedding? It was so awesome and the food was incredible. So, maybe you'll get an opportunity to stop in during, like the cocktail hour. You wish congratulations to everyone, and then you just go in the back and do your thing. And you look back on it, you'll be very proud, and it'll be all worth it.
All righty. Thanks. By the way, before I go, I mentioned in a previous stream that my father had COVID.
Yes.
He tested negative a week later.
Awesome. How's he feeling?
He's doing good. I'm going to see him after work on Saturday.
Okay.
And thanks for everything.
Much love. And I'm glad he's doing better. Nice to hear, good news. So be well.
Thanks, and keep up the good work with your show.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a great weekend. Good guy, man. Good guy. And I meant every word that I said about the cooking stuff. Sometimes work gets in the way, but, you're doing it for your family. So in the end, you'd be very proud of that stuff. Very proud. And that's awesome. Yes. A lot of people in the chat room also saying that's awesome that your dad is tested negative. I know they have these home tests now that you could buy like in a pharmacy for like $29. And I've always wanted to get a couple of tests just to keep in the house. If I feel a little under the weather, let me test just to be careful. But good news. Good news. All right. Let's open the phone lines back up. 833-366-8686 or 366-8669. Whatever is on your mind, you can call and ask away. Hey, we just talked about Israel, Palestine, and cooking and wedding receptions. So you could lay anything on me. So we can talk about whatever is on your mind. Thank you, Stefan, for the kind words. And yes, not everything is COVID, Sam. I've been tested 8 times just to be careful, because I do spend a couple of days, at least 1 or 2 days a week with my parents. And, you know, even though they're both vaccinated, my father has 3 shots, my mom has 2, you know, it still could kill you. And I do not want to put anybody in jeopardy. God forbid I ever caught COVID. So I take very, very big precautions, you know. I don't wear a mask when I go out in public all the time. I go to a diner. I don't walk in with a mask. If I'm surrounded by tons of people and they're right in my face, yeah, I'll put a mask on. I don't take it like, oh, my freedom is being taken away. Even if it's been 100% proven that when you have 3 shots of the vaccine, if you get COVID, it's nothing. I don't even want sniffles. Sniffles are annoying. It's freaking annoying, especially when you want to do a show, especially when you want to go to work, especially if you want to just have some quiet time with your significant other. You want to play video games. You want to do this. You want to do anything. And you got to sniffles and coughing. And even if it's minor, it's annoying. A mosquito bite is annoying. So I don't even want any of that. So anyway, let me take this do not disturb off. All right. So if you want to call in, otherwise we're going to call it for tonight. Remember, I will be here Saturday night, 8 o'clock. So we will recap night 1 of the draft. We'll talk a little bit about Rampage. Rampage has a couple of great matches lined up, and anything that goes on in the world of wrestling between now and Saturday. So, all right. This person, for some reason, went directly to voicemail, so I hope I'm not having problems. I don't like this Google Hangouts, and I also use, what the hell is the other service? It's a GoDaddy service. That's why I have 2 phone numbers, and they're all supposed to forward to this particular number, and sometimes it doesn't. So if anybody's trying to call in and you're having issues, I sincerely apologize. I see I got 5 voicemails in the last 45 seconds. So I'm talking a little bit more to just try to cover up that it's not connecting for some reason. Sam, I'll DM you tonight for sure. I did get your DM. It's just with everything the last couple of days, it's been a little bit nuts. But I know I emailed everybody today. So tonight I'll go into my DMs. So anyway, I sincerely apologize. For some reason, this is not connecting. I freaking hate technology sometimes. But so we may end up ending this a little bit earlier tonight. Well, we've already got an hour and 45 minutes. But what I'll do is I'll reset this software once. Let me just reset this. And we'll try it again. If it doesn't go through, yeah, I'm looking right here. 216 area codes 401-734-774 518-213-718. Oh, local homeboy 518. Yeah, so let me shut this off, turn it back on, and we'll try it one more time. And I sincerely apologize. Okay, off. See what happens. We'll try one more time. My apologies. It's out of my hands with stuff like this. Yeah, Austin too. Yep. So, you know what we could do? Since this is not connecting, if you have any quick questions, post it in the chat. So you know what? This is what we'll do. Let me put this do not disturb on, because I don't want someone to keep trying to call in and it doesn't connect. So what I'll do is this instead. Let's put this back on the screen. And any questions that you wanted to call in, ask away over here. So Fly says Tony Storm is getting married. Very cool. Very cool. Now I'm asking an honest question. And I'm not trying to be a jerk in any way. Is she marrying a man or a woman? And the reason why I ask that is because people have said that she is bisexual. So bisexual, she, I think that's a legit question to ask. Yeah, So Fly says she posted on Instagram. But I never paid attention who she was dating. So I don't know if she was dating a man or a woman. So I'm just curious. Supersonics, Oscar will be back on TV very, very shortly. Oscar will definitely be back on TV. SoFly says she's marrying Juice Robinson. Okay. All right. Sam says Shane O'Mac is leaving WWE. I have not heard that. I'm sure somebody may have reported it. What did I read that really made me laugh today? There was like some serious Captain Obvious shit today that was written. There was somebody wrote a report today that I just thought was so ridiculously stupid. And I can't remember what it was. I mean, there was another Captain Obvious about, what was it? It was such a really hilarious thing too. Oh man, I can't remember what it was right now. Shit. And it had to do with WWE also. King of Waco, Shane McMahon has run that marijuana company for a little whiles now. I don't think if he's leaving WWE, I don't think it has anything really to do with that. I mean, what's he going to do? Spend more time watching the plants grow? I don't know. Cheeseburger, why do I say Adam Cole is so over to the AEW fans when really only on NXT guy and only in AEW for such a short period of time? Well, because what I've been saying for all along. Tony Khan, he definitely is trying his hardest and he means well and he's a huge wrestling fan. And, his mentality is, let me put 80 people on TV. And there's so many people on there that you're bound to like somebody or somebody's bound to be your favorites. All right. The thing that I think Tony Khan made a mistake in is when they signed Bryan Danielson and signed CM Punk, Tony Khan, I think the way he said it, he expected a large group of wrestling fans out there that fell out of love with WWE, that may not be AEW fans, but with the extension of the roster and some additional fantasy matches and having Bryan Danielson, one of the top wrestlers in the last 10 years, 15 years, and bringing in CM Punk, who has not competed in 7 years, and now you bring in Adam Cole, and now you bring some others, that there's such a variety that group of fans that are not watching WWE right now might want to experience a little AEW and try it out. And my answer that I said months ago is that I can't picture fans out there who were CM Punk fans, but not AEW fans. I always felt that AEW fans, based on the flippy, based on, people kicking out of 2 of things they shouldn't kick out at 10, to see, that they're not as much into storylines, but just give me 4 and 5 star matches, having crazy shit and crazy moves and everything, acrobatic and set up. I mean, you really want to dissect it. You watch the Young Bucks, and I have become fans of their work, and I appreciate their work. But when you see them wrestling other people, and both members of the Young Bucks are literally standing in the middle of the ring with their heads down, just waiting to get double DDT'd, even for a split second, to me, that's like, oh, come on. It's a little too staged for my liking. But there's a core group of wrestling fans that do like that. And if that's what they like, I totally respect that. It's not enough for me not to like AEW, but there is a lot of that stage stuff. And the thing is that I think AEW fans were already Bryan Danielson fans. AEW fans were already CM Punk fans. And the thing is that now you do have about a 200,000 viewership increase on average with the extra guys in there. The problem is a lot of other wrestlers who have been there are really, really, really fighting for quality TV time. I mean, we brought it up yesterday. There was 5 promos done in a row. FTR last year was the #1 tag team in wrestling. You mean to tell me that FTR has done a spectacular job in AEW since they lost those tag titles? Look at what they've done. They've done a lot less than what they did the year before. That's not their fault, but that's what happens when you have 80 people on TV. You know, say what you want about WWE. Oh, they put the same shit on TV, the same shit on TV. They just had the biggest grossing SmackDown episode in history at the Garden. Count how many people they had on that show that night. And even that night, they had a little bit more than usual because it was Madison Square Garden. So you did not have this huge group of fans out there that wasn't watching WWE and wasn't watching AEW either. And there's a reason why, you know, when they have Legends Night, WWE, suddenly they break 3 million viewers. Why? Because there is a core group of wrestling fans out there that will tune in for a little nostalgia, but not on a weekly basis. So when they do Legends Night, it ends up being one of the highest rated Raws or SmackDowns for the year. And it's true. Go do the research. So what are you saying? 60-year-olds making a cameo is more enticing for casual wrestling fans than Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole and CM Punk and others? No. It's just that Tony Khan, I think, underestimated how many of his, like, Tony Khan is hiring people. All right. I guess the best way I could say it is like this. You have a restaurant and you have the #1 desserts in the state. And everybody goes there and always makes room for dessert. They have the #1 fish, the #1 steak, the #1 dessert there. And they have people showing up in droves to have the steak, the fish, and the desserts. But you want to try to get more business. So how do you try to get more business? Well, you know what? Why don't we make our chicken the #1 in the state? Why don't we make vegetarian dishes the #1 in the state? Why don't we make an Italian dish the #1 in the state? By bringing in Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson and CM Punk, you basically just added another variation of a steak to a menu that was already being elite and enticed by fans. So Tony Khan has got to figure out, who do I bring in that brings a totally different vibe, a totally different atmosphere, that's not just another guy to put in against a young buck or put in against this person or put against that. I mean, that's, I think, Tony Khan's challenge. And personally, I think Tony Khan right now is more concerned about keeping his core base happy. Because if he keeps that core base happy and they keep showing up, you might get some people that aren't into AEW that say, you know what, let me give it a shot. You know, everybody's talking about, let me give it another chance. And the more you do that, the better of a chance you might get some additional viewers. Bray Wyatt is not the only answer. It's definitely an answer. But you see, like NXT, when they did the whole color thing, and I said, it's like a palette of all different colors, all different shapes and sizes, all different characters and gimmicks. And you put all this out there and you try to have one diverse piece of art. I mean, let's be honest. You look at AEW, and what I see, this is not me saying this, but what I see more and more online from people who don't watch AEW is it's high-flying, white, flippy guys that are about 190 to 210 pounds. That's the majority of their promotion. All right. Light-skinned, flippy, acrobatic, 210-pound guys. I mean, you look at the huge, bigger guys like Hobbs and the others, and most of them are treated like garbage. You look at some of the smaller guys out there. I mean, how much smaller do you get from 195? You turn into, Marco Stunt territory. But that's the perception that is starting to be built from AEW, that this promotion is a majority of light-skinned, 200-pound, flippy people, And honestly, that's unfair, I think, for them because Miro is awesome. They have several women in that company that definitely deserve more airtime and that don't get it. And you look at the Lucha Bros and you look at FTR and they don't do flips. You see when you start really breaking down that roster, MJF is not a flippy guy. He might be a smaller guy, but Darby Allin is totally different character. So when you really start breaking it down, yeah, it is a very, diverse roster, but not diverse enough. And it's not simply based on skin tone. I want to make that clear. It's based on style and substance. So, just giving thoughts. I don't think AEW needs a brand split. Hell no. Why would you? Rampage goes 2 hours. It's still going to be 10 p.m. to midnight. AEW does not want to go head-to-head with SmackDown because now you're making fans choose one or the other. And even if a lot of fans choose AEW over SmackDown, that audience will be less. And I know what some people are saying, yeah, but it starts at 8 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock, so you might get a whole bunch of SmackDown fans that tune in at 8 o'clock will now watch AEW because it's on at 8 o'clock. Do not make the mistake that Dixie Carter made. I mean, we all love the Monday Night Wars, and I know there's a lot of you out there that were either not wrestling fans or too young at the time to experience what it felt like with the Monday Night Wars, and a lot of people try to force a war just so they could look back and say they were part of it. But man, you do not want to make the mistakes Dixie Carter did, especially when you realize the amount of payroll that is involved with AEW compared to Dixie Carter, the touring, the buildings. I mean, it's a lot different, man, a lot different. No, so fly. He says Monday Night Wars will never happen again. I say no. I think there's always a chance. There is always a chance, man. This contract. Do you ever notice how nobody ever talks about the specifics of an AEW contract? Not even the blue check marks. Not even the journalists. Notice how they'll talk about no compete clauses with WWE and this and that. They will never get into the breakdown of the AEW contracts because when you realize what AEW is offering, as I said yesterday, they're not kicking down a forbidden door. COVID caused that. And Tony Khan is basically saying, look, you could do this, 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 you could do this. But if we need you on a Wednesday, then you got to be here. Any other day, do whatever you want. I mean, how many wrestlers does AEW own the intellectual property for, as far as the names go? I ask you that, seriously. How many wrestlers, their character names, their wrestling names, how many wrestling names does AEW own the intellectual property of? When you understand what WWE does, and they change names and everything like that, you understand that everybody could leave AEW for the most part, and almost everybody could keep their name. WWE, it's the opposite in a lot of ways, especially for young guys out there. But nobody ever thinks about that side of it. It's a very important part of this business that nobody touches on. So when you dissect the AEW contract, basically what it is a lot of these wrestlers, that's why, do you notice a pattern? A lot of the wrestlers that leave WWE to end up signing with AEW, most of them Twitch, most of them stream, most of them play video games. Most of them do similar things with each other. Maybe not together. You see the pattern? Because an AEW contract may not be enticing to someone who doesn't sit on Twitch all day long, who doesn't game. You notice some people who were let go from WWE and AEW has no interest in bringing them in. Why not? Because when AEW approaches that wrestler, an agent, and says, look, we're going to offer you this much, but you could go on YouTube, you could Twitch, you could game, you could sell your own stuff, you could go here, you could work indies, you could do this, you could do that. But if we need you on a pay-per-view or a night that we do shows, you're available. And you see the people who don't fit that criteria, no, thank you. Seriously, did anybody ever think about that? No. I'm sure some of you have, but these are little things that a lot of people will not be honest with you. And look, if that's what AEW is going for, why not? That's their way of doing business right now. And it's smart business. What happens when COVID is finally gone? And what happens when prices start coming down? And what happens when people have that extra income that they can enjoy things a little bit more? And then wrestlers, get offers for bigger money for other places. And then they go back to AEW. Just match. Just match. I'm not paying you WWE money. If I pay you WWE money, then you don't Twitch and you don't game and you don't do this and you don't do that. You don't work indies. Because if I paid you WWE money and you still get to do all these other things, you make twice as much of what WWE is offering you. WWE is $1 billion company. WWE could offer crazy contracts to people if they wanted to. They wanted some of these talents in AEW that bad when their contracts were up. You think all these wrestlers, like I said, Darby could say that yesterday, I'm AEW for life and in death. Yeah, because right now, his biggest priority is, what kind of wheels do I put on my skateboard? He's married with kids, has to own a house, taxes, insurance, responsibility, getting older, body starts to hurt. And you see Darby Allin still feels that way. Not everybody has that mindset. A lot of people are married. They have children at home. They have to worry about their future. You think they're going to turn around and if WWE comes a call and it says, look, we'll offer you this kind of money. And they go back to Tony, just match it. You watch how many people leave. So I said yesterday, these type of contracts, I expect them to last about 2 to 3 years, barring another pandemic. Should be about 2 to 3 years. It's going to take a couple of years for COVID to be completely out of here. We talked about that back in February of last year. But believe me when I tell you, I'm not trying to act like I know it all. But I'm telling you this, and remember this. What I said yesterday and today about these contracts and COVID being the one that kicked down the forbidden door, and you see what happens in the next 2 years, remember, no other shows out there is throwing this out. Sooner or later, they will. When it becomes Captain Obvious and it becomes a topic that cannot be avoided anymore, suddenly everybody's going to open the doors and say, yeah, I don't know, AEW 2 years from now in these contracts. You watch when people do that. That's why I said that Brandon Thurston guy is awesome with ratings. And I watched him 4 or 5 days ago say, I don't know if AEW could really maintain, this type of show. Like the fans are like getting used to having these giants. This is like WCW with Nitro and more about the radio. Who's been saying that for over a year? Problem is I don't have numbers like those guys. Maybe if you include audio as well. Ken terminated by DQ. I see you. Hope you're having a great night. And with that said, everyone, I think I'm going to jet out of here. So we are at 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm sorry about the technical BS with this do not disturb stuff. Like I said, I get really pissed off sometimes with this software because later on I look and there's like 40, 50 messages because people are trying to call and they get a voicemail instead. And for some reason, I think what it may be is, it could be this. I have my phone, the settings on Do Not Disturb. So maybe it just blocks some of the apps from connecting as well. I always put Do Not Disturb on. So maybe what I got to do next time is just take off Do Not Disturb. And I'm talking about the iPhone settings. Who's going to call me this late at night in my personal life other than one person? So, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this show. We had some calls, great questions from all of you out there, some great discussion. The tongue is still blue. I feel like I got a pimple in the back of my tongue now. I don't know. I hope it doesn't screw up my keto, because I'm on keto diet, no sugar. I don't think I had enough gum to kick me out of ketosis, but I'm very, very surprised on how good this tasted. There was obviously a little bit off. It had this real plastic vibe to it, but was not bad. I'm a little concerned that there's no like plastic bag, but then again, the hole is so small. Like, how are you going to pull a plastic bag out of something that small, So, I mean, that's how they sold it. But, we'll do the other ones probably next week. And I can't wait to get this thing, man. Oh, man, I can't wait to get this. Seriously, for anybody that's tuning in late, I mean, just look at that phrase on the top. The Undertaker tells you where to get off. Seriously. He actually tells you where to get off. And the eyes move. Supposedly, if I talk on his left ear, those eyes will move to the left. When I talk in his right ear, I'm going to whisper sweet nothings next week, and we're going to see his eyes move to the other way. And he's going to tell us where to get off. Seriously. And you know what's the best part about that? Yes, we're thinking perversion here. See that? Wall Talkers. The picture that tells you where to get off. Look at the top right-hand corner right now, everyone. For those on audio only, this is safe, in their view, for ages 6 and up. Mommy, I want this Undertaker. He's going to tell me where to get off. Unbelievable. By the way, Nitro Cologne. WCW came out with Cologne in like 1999. Nitro. And someone out there said that they have like, I don't know how many it was, 5 or 10 of the small bottles, never opened. He's like, you want them? Now, I had to give him a couple of signed autograph cards in return. But supposedly I'm getting them tomorrow. They're going to my P.O. Box address. So next week, we will definitely, on the show, try out WCW Nitro Cologne. And I think what I might actually do is, if I take my significant other, if we go out for breakfast and have some coffee with Roger Rubio's money and all the trolls last night, I think what I'll do is I'll literally hit the record button, take out the WCW Nitro, and right before I walk into the diner, I'm going to put some of that cologne on. And I want to see some of the reaction. Or I'll put the cologne on and then I'll hit record on my phone and see what her reaction is. Wow, that smells sexy. I don't know what this cologne smells like. I never bought it back in the day. I'm still trying to get the WWF Attitude Cologne. I have not heard anybody out there that has it. I have checked online, see if maybe somebody sells one. I have not seen a bottle of WWF Attitude Cologne in years. Maybe we'll get lucky. So, yeah, I'm going to check it out. I'm very curious what this Nitro Cologne smells like. And I don't think it goes bad. I don't think it goes bad because I still have a bottle of Cool Water that I had from the 90s. And I have bottles of cologne from 20 years ago that's been sitting in my dresser drawer that, once in a blue moon for a special occasion, I'll put a little spray on and it smells fine. So the WCW Nitro Cologne has got to be good. And if it smells good, I'm going to give away a couple over here. I'm too old to be putting Nitro Cologne on like every week. I don't go out like that. So I have one vial. It'll last me probably 10 years. So, yeah, we got that. We'll see what happens. I'm telling you, I'm excited for that. The Buff Bagwell hot sauce, and the Ultimate Warrior cereal. Oh, I forgot. Mark from Manhattan. Shout out to you, my brother. Mark from Manhattan. He asked me to send him, and I haven't sent it yet. I have it here. He asked me to send him this autograph photo of Daphne. I have a couple left. What are you sending me in return to have on the show? Now, this is going to be a little different unless I bring it in here. Does anybody remember about 25 years ago, Sharp came out with these little microwaves? They called them like cubes, and they came in black, white, pink, yellow, green, blue, brown. Does anybody remember those Sharp microwaves that were like this big? They look like cubes. I have one. I have it for about 25 years. It's in my office. When I got rid of my boat, I took it out of my boat and I put it in my office. It still works. So it's very, very small, very small. So I could bring it home and it doesn't weigh much of anything. What does this have to do with Mark from Manhattan? Mark from Manhattan is sending me this weekend WWE Popcorn from 2003. It is sealed. It is supposedly a gift set. It's got WWE microwave popcorn with like WWE custom popcorn bags, and it's still sealed. It's a gift set. So next week, probably, or the week after, I have a feeling it's going to be next week. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take that microwave at home. I'll put it right there in the background, and we will pop open one of those microwave popcorns from 2003, pop that son of a bitch live on the show, and try it out. So, yeah, we didn't do a ratings contest, Charlie. We didn't do a ratings contest. We have a predictions contest starting this weekend with the draft. I don't know if you took part of that or not. Unfortunately, the entries are now closed because that contest ran for 2 weeks, and you had up until September 30th to take part in that. But next week, we'll do another contest. And like I said, we'll give away a few things. But, yeah, so next week or the week after, we'll pop some 2003 WWE popcorn. And if it really makes my teeth feel weird, then we'll whip out that 2012 CM Punk toothpaste with the toothbrush. I'm sure that still is perfect. But yeah, so we're going to try, wow, we got like a webcam troller here. Much different. Webcam troller. Hot girls and boys, everyone. Hot girls and boys. If it's of legal age, you could all enjoy yourself, but we do not condone any underage crap. But yeah, so I'm starting to ramble, so I think it's time for me to go bye-bye for now. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Tomorrow's Friday, so the weekend is coming up. Enjoy the draft. Night one, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down tomorrow. Obviously, some big names are going to be drafted tomorrow. I just hope that Drew McIntyre versus Big E is announced before Drew McIntyre is drafted to SmackDown, because Drew McIntyre is my heavy pick to go to SmackDown. And I don't think they've announced that match yet. If I was WWE, they should have announced the match already for Raw. Then you could draft McIntyre to SmackDown, but because the match was already announced, Drew's got to fulfill the obligation and take on Big E. So, yeah, have a great night, everyone. Much love as always. And everyone, be well. I'll see you Saturday night at 8 o'clock. And who knows? Who knows? If there's not a whole lot going on, maybe we will whip out one more of those retro things. As long as I don't get sick from it, you know, when the day comes that I have it on the show and I start things start swelling up and I can't talk, that's when I'll be like, okay, it was good as it lasted, but it's time to stop it. So good night, everybody. Be well. And I'll see you all Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Take care.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the hosts. I even paid the masked Maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.